Last video that we did, we took our clients through this super simple 5-step process on one of the ways that we help our clients gain clarity as to what exactly it is that they do for their clients, meaning who they help their clients become, the transformation they actually bring their clients through and to. And so step 5 is always the juiciest one. It's the one that we're giddy to get to, right? And this is the one that would be super fun for us to talk through a little bit more today because it really is the culmination of all the steps before it. So, that step, of course, is what guidance comes to you.
Yes. And it is the one that recovering overachievers really struggle with because the ego immediately wants to kind of take charge and do something and
Yes.
decide something and take some action and put something in the calendar and make a video and all of those things. And that is not what typically creates effortlessness. That
Mm.
typically creates task lists and overwhelm and burnout, especially if it's not preceded with clarity. So, if it's preceded by clarity, let me just be clear. I'm not saying that action isn't required, quite the
Right.
opposite. I am actually saying that I have a word for it, inspiration. Is that too cheesy? I don't care.
I love this inspiration.
Inspiration. And you know what's funny? It came to me as guidance because I literally woke up in the middle of the night at like 3 a.m. and I was like, inspiration. And I like wrote it in my like blind scrawl with the lights out in my notebook. And the next morning I was like, what the hell did I write? And I managed to decipher it and it was inspiration. And it's inspired action. That's basically, I've just combined those two words. I'm super clever. I'm
Okay,
a
okay,
messaging.
for everyone who's watching, this is the first time I've heard this, and I love it. It absolutely is exactly what we teach, inspiration. Okay, Geeta, go ahead.
Thank you. So yeah, it's just inspired. Is not rocket science. Yeah. So
Okay.
so despite it not being rocket science and despite it being blindingly obvious, possibly to you in this moment, typically when we're stressed, that is not what we do. We just take action without the inspired part, and that leads to more action. And because when you take action from that wounded place of I need to do something, oh my god, I'm gonna die, you take an action, and that action leads to 3 more actions that you now need to take in order to complete the first action, which leads to 20,000 more actions that you need to take. And can anyone spell burnout, right? That's
Right.
typically how this goes. And we've, Maria and I both lived it. Like we're recovering overachievers as well. And that's how we know
Yes.
this works so freaking well and why we're
Yeah.
so deeply invested in making sure that any solutions we come up with actually work because we're the biggest users of them. And so if they're not working for us, then we have a lot more than money to lose, honestly.
Yeah.
So 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 the thing that is it's inspiration, that it's action you should take. If you have I have a really great litmus test, the 50-50 rule. You want to tell them?
Ooh, the 50-50 rule. Yes. So feeling 50% fear and 50% excitement. And actually, let's flip that because we all want to feel the excitement first, right? So it's like
First, yeah,
50%
exactly.
excitement about what you're doing, but then also 50% fear. Like, this is a great litmus test.
It is. And I'll tell you why. And again, 50 is an approximation. There's
Right.
no number, it doesn't come with a number, but you're feeling a mixed feeling, right? And it's like, oh my God, I really want to do this. And oh my God, what if I do this? It's that
Yeah.
combination. And I have a theory. So this is just my theory. I have no idea how this actually works because I'm not God, but I have a theory about why it is like that. I think the excitement comes from the soul feeling the answer to its call. So there's that,
Mm.
I just want to surrender to this. I just want to go. How wonderful it would be if I just gave into any resistance holding me back from doing this because I really want to do it. There's
Mhm.
desire there. There's a lot of juiciness to it. And then the fear is the ego debt that is required for the
Mm.
action to be taken because you have to give up some element of your identity, not your whole identity, but some element of it. And that creates a void that is very uncomfortable for the ego. So
Mm.
that's why you feel that mix there. And it
Yeah.
can become difficult to take. Or, I mean, to me, if I'm not feeling that mix, then most of the time now I'll just sit on my hands and I won't do anything, which is like mind blowing, right? Because most of here's the deal, most of the motivational coaching stuff internet memes, inspiration, inspo porn, all of that out there is
Yeah.
designed for people who are not overachievers. These are people who are kind of wandering around looking for purpose, looking for something to do. And they have a lot of fear and conditioned fear response and whatnot. And there's no judgment whatsoever. If you're in that place, then understand that any action is good action. Any action is inspiration. Because at some point you're going to get into a rhythm and taking action will no longer be something you have resistance to. The people that we typically coach, especially in our Impact with Influence program, are people who have busted through all of these blocks already. They're big action takers. They have a bias for action.
Yes.
They've bought all the courses, read all the books, done all the things, and none of them. And now they're just exhausted and overwhelmed by what the frick they need to do because they followed the script and it didn't work. Right? Those are the people that we specialize in working with. And so for these people, true discipline is about not taking action until you feel inspired. It takes so much courage to just sit there while it feels like Rome is burning down around your ears.
It's so
Right?
true. And that's exactly why it's so important to hone. It's a skill, and it's even deeper than a skill, but it is absolutely a skill of learning how to hear guidance and allow guidance to come to you. But even just like sitting and waiting when you have that bias for action, that is such a skill to hone. And it's actually a joyful skill to hone, because when you really start to practice and get closer to your intuition, so you know, okay, it is time to move, then you have so much more conviction in what it is that you're doing in that movement.
Exactly. And then that will lead, that conviction is what's going to create the momentum. So you can
Yeah.
create the momentum from just doing all the things, or you can create the momentum from doing that one right thing that sets all the other dominoes in motion. So it's your choice, like whatever resonates with you. There's no right or wrong way. This is just what we've designed because this is what works for us. And I know that there's thousands of people out there for whom that traditional model is just, that well has run dry. And now there's an evolution that is required. So if that's you and you're wanting to learn that process of sitting with your guidance, and you want like a step-by-step guide, not to doing all the things, but to just getting in touch with yourself. And these are very low-tech technologies. Like you just need a journal and a pen and some time. And I think that's pretty much it. Maybe some music. And we've put it all together, including the journal, including an 80-page workbook that has you taking the steps and has you organizing. Because I know a lot of our overachiever people, when they're wounded, when they're in that like overwhelmed, burnt out place, they're like, just tell me all the things I'm going to learn. Let me just learn and learn and learn and learn and not take any action because there's so much conditioned fear. So they've gone back to that place of not being able to take action. So what we've done is we've created a workbook so that there is literally almost a process, and not almost, really a process that you can count on to harvest your inspiration. So you're not just having it and it's like a dream where it kind of comes in your head and you're like, oh, that was amazing. And then 10 minutes later, you can't remember. Here, you're going to write things down, and you're not going to do it from an ego decision-making place. You're going to do it from a, oh, this is juicy. Like, I want to do this. And I'm kind of scared to do it. Now what do I do? Like when you're in that place, really good things happen. Really magical things happen. And that's what we want for you. So Maria, do you want to tell us how people can learn this?
Exactly. So this workbook that Geeta was just telling you about and the process, it's all within our program, Impact with Clarity. And it's a really, really accessible program to you. It's very, very inexpensive. And we're even offering it for 70% off right now. So it's really, if this is interesting to you, if this is something that you really want to learn to develop, is how to listen to this inner guidance, how to know how to make these decisions, then this program really is for you. So look for the link that's around this video, because it's going to be really easy for you to hop over there and check it out and sign up for it.
Yeah. And then come back to this group and to Messaging That Makes Money and tell us, take images of your filled out workbook, even or screenshots. We have a fillable PDF. So if you don't want to print it, you don't have to. Take screenshots, share what you're getting so that we can help you nuance it, because we're really, really committed to this work. Again, we get high on our own supply. We're the biggest users of our product. So we're always really interested in any resistances that you come up with or any like hiccups that come up in the process, we're just like, ooh, that's an opportunity for us to design a better process and to harvest those resistances and turn them into innovation. Because
Yeah.
I will tell you this, if you do think about who you respect, think about who you wish you could grow up to be, right? Is it somebody that follows the rules and does everything right? Or is it somebody that disrupts the rules and creates new opportunity that never existed before? I mean, don't take my word for anything, but I know who I respect. I know who I want to grow up to be. You can't grow up to be that person by following everybody else's process. So that's why we're not big on tactical coaching where we're like, do this and follow this template and build this guide. And like we have some of that,
Yeah.
but
Although we
really
do have that,
only
but yeah.
we have that, but
Yeah.
we only have enough of that to kind of help you feel secure in this
Mhm.
exploration of self's truth.
Yeah.
Right. So, most of the work that we do is really about getting you in touch with your own genius so that then when you take those tactics and you follow the steps and whatnot, what emerges is your voice, your
Yeah.
truth, your clarion call to your people. So, if you skip that original step of like really getting in touch with your truth and learning how to follow guidance, you end up with a copy of somebody else's work. And that's not going to make
Hmm.
you feel like the person you want to grow up to be.
No,
And
it's
life's
so
too short for
true.
that.
It's so true. It's so true. And so if you do sign up for Impact with Clarity and you do all the exercise, please, like Ida said, go and take snapshots and put them in the group for us to
And tag us.
really cheer you. Yeah, tag us. We want to cheer you along, but we also want to like see if we can help coach you through it as well. So please put it up there. Help us see what's landing for you. This was so much fun, Gita. I always love, talking through little snippets of what we do on our coaching calls and Impact with Influence, and just kind of getting to geek out with you about the ways that Impact with Influence combines with Impact with Clarity and the overlaps. And so it's just been so fun. Thank you.
Thank you.